Oh, the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. We've been looking forward to this one for a while. Unfortunately, the Scottish weather had other ideas. Loch Lomond is the largest body of fresh water in the UK, and it's close to Glasgow and a great place to start today's big adventure. And it all started off so well. The mighty Clyde was looking resplendent as we headed to the village of Erskine to get ready to do their parkrun before we headed over the Erskine Bridge and northwards. So that is the parkrun done, and the next port of call, according to Google, is a charity shop, which I've just seen is closed. Oops. Oh well, we soon got over the crushing disappointment of the charity shop being closed and went to the local supermarket to buy some food, because now we've got proper cooking facilities in Daisy that we're going to show you a wee bit later. Unfortunately, we went in and the weather was nice. We came out and it looked a bit like this. Yes, it's all gone a wee bit festive, unfortunately about a week too late. Anyway, we'd bought our sausages and our rolls and our stuff for breakfast, so we got in the van and headed out over the Erskine Bridge. But when we got onto the bridge, it became clear this was probably more than just a passing flurry of snow, more than just a sort of light dusting. This was going to be quite heavy, and should we continue or should we turn back? Well, what do you think? Obviously, we're going to continue. We've got content to create, people.
Great weather for shorts.
Yeah, I think we'll put some trousers on. We made it another couple of miles, but the weather was just getting worse and worse, and by this point people were starting to lose it. There was one person in a BMW snaking all over the road, just wheel spinning and not going anywhere, so we thought discretion is almost definitely the best part of valour. Well, much as we love you guys, and we want to show you the sights of the bonny banks of Loch Lomond, we don't really fancy making national news for getting snowed in. Although if you're going to get snowed in, Daisy's not bad. How did you survive the blizzard? We cooked some sausages. So yeah, we're not going to be doing anything today apart from trying to make it back home. By this point it was all just getting a little bit scary. There was people going too fast in the outside lane when there wasn't actually an outside lane, it was just a snowdrift, and there was a police car stuck, and there was a couple of crashes that we saw, so we thought, right, no, let's just get out of this. Eventually we got turned round and started heading back south towards Glasgow, and then on to Livingston to find somewhere to take shelter from the bad weather. How about, where do you think we ended up? The charity shop. I'm looking for the tat department. Oh. That is magnificent. If you're looking for an old lady riding flamingo, you're in luck. They've got one in stock. They've also got quite an impressive array of ornaments and little bits and pieces, trinkets and knickknacks I think they're called, or junk, depending on how you want to phrase it. But over on the other side, if you didn't fancy the old lady riding the flamingo, how about a lady gnome riding a sort of unicorn whale thing? That is definitely a niche market.
That's a really interesting pose, isn't it? I don't think De Niro could do that one.
I think it's quite flexible. And there's this little friend.
It's a bit more comfortable, the friend.
And the reason we're in Livingston is in Bexy's bag down there. Because we went shopping and she tried on jeans, and she bought jeans that she wanted, and then she took those jeans that she wanted home, wanting those jeans, and at some point between then and now she no longer wants the jeans, so they're going back to the shop. Ladies, why do you do that? Why can't you buy something and then just keep it?
You're allowed to do that.
You can tell the most popular dog here because Pomeranians, lots left, Maltese, lots left. There's only one greyhound calendar left. So after returning Bexy's jeans and failing to buy a greyhound calendar, we made it back home, where De Niro practised his smile, so he could maybe be in next year's greyhound calendar. Maybe we'll do a Scotland on a shoestring greyhound calendar, if he can smile properly. Okay, so who's ready for take two, our second attempt to visit the bonny banks of Loch Lomond? A trip that started with us heading west to spend Hogmanay in a car park at a leisure centre in Linwood. Don't say we don't know how to party. Good evening.
Hello there.
It's Hogmanay in Scotland. As you know, it's Scotland and Hogmanay, we all go mental and go to big parties. We're not doing any of those things.
No, and we're not drinking whiskey either.
And we're not drinking. We are in the car park of a leisure centre somewhere near Glasgow. The reason why, you can probably guess.
New Year's Day park run tomorrow.
New Year's Day park run tomorrow, and then we're going to have take two of our trip round Loch Lomond with you lovely people, because it's a beautiful part of the world.
So lots of people pay money to go into a pub on Hogmanay, but we're not doing that. We're cooking our dinner in Daisy, and we've got the classic dinner: sausages, instant mash. Now don't knock it till you've tried it because it's actually quite nice. A few mushrooms and a bottle of pink. Yes, the pink wine is the favourite thing. Low alcohol, of course, because we are athletes. We're athletes, we are. So we're away to cook our sausages and have a wee drink. Happy New Year.
Yeah, you can't say Happy New Year too early. We've got to fake that later on through the magic of television, because you won't know what time it actually is, and we're both quite old, so we're usually asleep by about 9:30.
Too soon, don't say Happy New Year. Shut up.
So, while the rest of Scotland is partying hard and in pubs and clubs, we are cooking sausages in the back of a van.
So how's your dinner?
It's excellent, of course. It was cooked by somebody who can really work well with a one gas ring in the back of a van. Morning has broken. It is 2024. Wherever you are, I hope you're going to have a really good year. So there is Daisy at our camping ground for last night. And there's a doggy that's really reluctant to go back into its car. It wants to come and play with De Niro. It is looking like it's going to be quite a nice day today. The sun is only just coming up and we are ready to go and parkrun. Well, as ready as we ever are. Our very empty car park soon filled up with lots and lots of parkrun participants, so we did the parkrun and thoroughly enjoyed it before heading back onto the Erskine Bridge. Now, if you remember what it looked like last time we tried to cross it, and you should because you only saw it a couple of minutes ago, well, this is what it looks like this time. It is a tiny, tiny bit different, with Scottish blue skies and sunshine aplenty. And only a week after our first attempt, that is Loch Lomond, arguably Scotland's second most famous loch behind Loch Ness, unless you're from Glasgow, in which case this is probably your favourite. We have come to the little town of Falloch, which has got an amazing park, and in that amazing park there is an amazing old building. And there it is, that is Falloch Castle. I do hope YouTube does not object to the use of the word Falloch, but this is what this place is called. It does sound a bit rude. You know we like a nice castle, and that would have been quite a nice castle back in its day. Yep, that clock is only right twice a day, and it was put up there in, I'm guessing, 1830, so it's been up there for a wee while. It's allowed to be a bit slow. De Niro's not interested in castles, there's far too many things to sniff. What a nice wee, or quite big park. Once again, it was once somebody's private house, but now it is owned by the council, which is why it's all a bit derelict, because councils do not have a great deal of money to spend on castles. De Niro is just dying to get off for a little runabout, but it's a big park and he could run quite a long way, and there's quite a lot of people about, so we probably won't, to be honest. So that is the famous Loch Lomond, the bonny banks. We're now going to go back to Daisy and we're going to head up the side of the loch and see what cool stuff we can find. I'm expecting lots and lots of scenery, and that's probably about it. And interesting smells to be sniffed. That's by De Niro, not Bex. The castle looks quite impressive from down here. You stumble across these wee parks all over the place, you know, where the laird and his family would have probably been there for generations, but then decided that they couldn't afford it, so they offload it to the council, and then the council are lumbered with a fairly big outgoing, but also a very nice park, which is just a little bit muddy. The castle's even got its own wee bell tower and clock, and De Niro is making a wee friend. It's a wee bonsai De Niro. Not at all sure. Dachshund meet greyhound. De Niro has been mugging passers-by for treats.
There you go, oops, here. There you go, sweetheart. There you go. There you go.
Oh, and the wee one,
in
the car's not very happy. You're not very happy, are you? You're with me on the street.
And that is Falloch Castle and Country Park done. It's time to get back in Daisy and head north. Now, although this is New Year's Day and you think it'd be quite quiet, it's actually not. Some of the roads were quite quiet, but all of the parking spaces were full of cars. So let's just go and see where we can get parked. We've come a little bit further up the bonny banks of Loch Lomond, and we are just outside a place called Luss, which is a little village, unsurprisingly. And interestingly, this thing in front of us that looks a bit like nothing much is thought to be the remains of an old crannog. A crannog is a man-made island that would once have had a wooden house on it. Now, these are found throughout Scotland and Ireland. Although they may not be much to look at now, they're still an impressive reminder of a civilization that was here about 2,500 years ago. So we have come a bit further along the bonny banks of Loch Lomond, and we are now in Aldochley, which I hope I've pronounced properly, but very probably haven't. You get the idea, it's a wee place at the side of the water. So that's the crannog there, and that's called Monk's Island over there. You can see why Loch Lomond is such a popular place, but unfortunately it's a victim of its own popularity. You see, the problem is Scotland has enlightened outdoor access rules where you can camp on unenclosed land as long as you're not not an idiot about it. But not round here, because lots of people from Glasgow came here with their tents and their bottles of alcohol and generally made a nuisance of themselves. So what they've done is it's now camping management at certain times of the year. So if you want to camp, you can't camp anywhere, you can only camp in designated campsites, which is good for the people that own the designated campsites. And I tried to say designated there a couple of times, I'm not sure I got it right, but you know what I mean. This is all owned by, I think, the Luss estates, and there's lots of really nice little cottages. I mean, look at that one over there. That's not exactly very ugly, is it? It's very, very well kept, and the one next to it is quite grand as well. And all these houses have got one thing in common: they've got a view that looks a bit like that, which is quite nice. I would quite like that view. Now let's go and see what is happening with my breakfast. In the kitchen we have Bex, working hard as always. She'd have you believe that's all she ever does is just slave over a hot stove. And in the hot stove is something that may be an omelette or maybe scrambled egg, we're not sure yet.
Right, wait till you see my omelette. This is my first van omelette and I'm very pleased with it. Are you ready?
Da, da, da.
Look at that.
Okay, where's yours?
Ham, mushroom and cheese omelette.
In the van.
In the van.
This is van life.
Waiting for the kettle to boil.
Yeah, unfortunately we've only got our one little gas stove, so we can only cook one thing at a time.
Well, maybe we need to get one with 2 rings on it.
2 rings, we made the 2-ring stove.
2 rings.
And with an excellent breakfast done, it's time to head further north. We are almost at the very top end of Loch Lomond, but we've stopped because this is quite a nice view. It's got the sun cutting through the clouds and the pretty brown hillsides and the wee white cottage over there, and the cars going past making far too much noise. And then down there, the loch we've just driven up. Now that is not a bad wee view, I think you'll have to agree. Or no, you don't have to agree, but you probably will. And I just risked life and limb running across the road to get here. Bex is like, yeah, I might just not bother. There's lots of people going quite quickly. Yeah, this is quite a dangerous road, and when you see all these people going this fast, you can kind of understand why. There's quite a lot of accidents. There's lots of dogs joining in the barking chorus just now, but not De Niro, because he's only barked about 3 times in his entire life. Tarbert is the point where the main road splits. If you go right, you head towards Crianlarich, and if you go left, you head over the sea to Skye. But it's also a great place to look down the length of the loch and see how far we've driven on today's wee adventure. You can see why this place is so popular with so many people, but we are going to continue north and we're going to go somewhere that I really quite like, and Bex has never been. So we leave the natural splendour of Loch Lomond behind and hit the natural splendour of the Falls of Falloch. Well, we hit it after I've actually managed to get through this, because I thought I knew a shortcut off the main path that was full of tourists, and it turned out to be just a little bit muddy. It's probably a great shortcut to take in the summer. In the middle of winter, not so good. Bex was not best impressed. She was even less impressed once we'd done this and she found the path. So take a wee look at that. That is the Falls of Falloch, and I think they are worth muddy feet, even if the muddy feet are completely avoidable. So that was our little flight deck down there. We went down, there was not a soul there, and now there's about 40 people. And the inevitable close-up tourists, but not quite as close-up as the wee drone. But what we know that these tourists didn't is the best view of the falls are actually from a wee observation deck that is hidden in the trees off to the left. So there's a wee poem, and above the wee poem is Bex, and over from Bex is the waterfall. So if you've not got a drone, you can come here. That is quite pretty. Well, if you remember those snow-covered mountains that we saw from the very, very bottom end of Loch Lomond, almost at Glasgow, that is one of them over there, because we are now in the village of... There, go on, try and pronounce that one then. I'll give you a clue, it's Crianlarich. Or something like that. And Crianlarich is the junction where we turn right to head home. If you turn left, you're in the proper Highlands, and next time we're up here, we're definitely turning left. Well, there you are. That is our first video of 2024, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for all your support and the comments we've had on our recent videos over Christmas and New Year. We love to get your suggestions of places to visit, so please feel free to let us know if there's anywhere in particular, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
We do have one little change to our plans, because we make these videos up, 1 week's video goes out that week, and unfortunately that leaves us a bit short of time sometimes on a Thursday, and there's a bit of a last minute panic to get the video finished. So what we've decided is our videos from now on will be coming out on a Sunday. So if you're waiting for our stuff to come out, you'll see it on a Sunday. And on that note, thank you very much for watching this episode, our first of 2024 and the first of many more. So we'll see you soon. Bye!
Bye! Bye, De Niro!